like so many times in your guys' band, you guys have a lot of challenges to overcome, and then unfortunately in 2009, CJ, the bass player, had collapsed on stage while you guys were playing a show in Millville. I was just like, you guys had faced enough at that point already. I mean, how do you continue to go on? Is it that like, oh, CJ would want you guys to continue, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, his mother told us even that at the funeral, as we were the pallbearers, and as we're lowering it into the ground, when that got done, the first thing she said is she wanted everybody's attention out in that cemetery. And she said, I want you boys to know that this is what CJ would have wanted, and it's what we as his family want, because there's no reason for you guys to stop.
Because you're like family, like as far as she was concerned, brothers to him, family to her, and the rest of the family, you know, just, yeah, that was...
Well, how else do you live on, too? For her, it may have been a way of saying, hey, because my son was so into this band and music, if they're going to keep it going, then in a way, doesn't that really keep him going on?
Yeah, sure. And
as a member,
his spirit,
whether
sure,
it's
absolutely.
former or deceased or not, he's still continuing.
And we didn't know at first what we were going to do, you know, and
yeah,
that was...
It took a few weeks.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. But now, since all of that, the phoenix has risen, if you will. You guys added Rob on bass.
We did.
And then Titanium, you guys recorded with Kevin Hogan, right?
We did. We've known Kevin for a long time.
So what was it like going back into the studio? I mean, you guys went back to do, like you said, re-record Dehumanized and Instruments of Death.
And we did Done in Vain, which we'd never had that on the
And got no choice.
And got no choice.
Yeah. Okay. So
we did 4 songs.
So what was it like going back in studio for Titanium? Because it's a different lineup again, but it's been a while since you guys kind of were working on new stuff, right?
True. It took a year and a half, so let's just say
it was so spread out, and the only, you know, and aside from maybe Ed coming, no, I don't. It was me, him, and Kevin. Me and Kevin. Everyone else went in on their own. You were probably there. I know you were there with Ed that weekend that Ed went in, and I guess it was different. It seemed different. It was way laid back. I'm going to thank Jack Daniels. I'll tell you what, you know, Kevin has a very savvy when it comes to...
Kevin was a producer. He didn't just record us. He wasn't just a recording engineer. He helped with production ideas. Like,
you know, knew of and talked about.
Forever's not that long. Maybe there should be a ticking clock. You know, just, hey, you know what, that's not a bad idea. Just, you know, so...
You know, vocally... You know, tuning an instrument and changing strings is one thing, and vocally there's a warm-up period and then a real peak, kind of drop. And, you know, he's familiar with all that, and he's working with me on that, and we are taking we're getting to that peak point, and we're pushing it, and you know, doing and laying another track, and then, you know what, we're going to do one more, and then we're going to take a break, and then we would take a break for a while. We're talking, we're having a few cocktails. And it is relaxing, because there was a time I was, we were gotten back together to play out, and or I played a band with Moorestown, and talk about uptight because I wasn't drinking. Oh my God, nerves, and everyone thinks that well you do this all the time. How can you be nervous when you? Because you want to be at your best.
Sure.
You don't want to screw up, and there was some rough time. It's a lot.
His saying
life
is better with whiskey is what he's trying to do.
Absolutely.
That's the moral of the story.
Absolutely. You relax, and the atmosphere. You know, not that when we did the 4 songs for Instruments, it wasn't relaxed because we set the time. I mean, it was our time.
Yeah.
We're there. You know, it's his time in his studio, but we're there. But it was a whole lot different. That was a little more uptight. A little more pressed.
Kevin, by the way, Kevin was the driver of the Jeep in my accident. So that's what's kind of weird that we actually ended up back with him. He felt I think part of what made this as special as it's turned out to be, he felt the whole time the connection of, man, I was watching you and thought you weren't going to make it underneath that Jeep. And now here we are recording a record, and the subject matter is almost part of what's happened that day or that night. And I think he took that and he ran with it, and he realized this means a lot to them, but in some way, shape, or form, it means a lot to me too. So it involved him. As opposed to being on the outside going, all right, I'm going to work for you as a client, he felt way more connected to the whole project because of the intimacy of that situation that had happened.
Right. Yeah, and the aside from Titanium theme, you guys also have a couple of tributes in there for CJ, right?
There's the very last song is just an instrumental. It's just something that I wrote. CJ would always hear me tinker around on the guitar, and he would help me write. Sometimes he'd go, "What's that? Stop. What'd you play? Play it again." And we would write songs that way. This is just something, the CJ song that's at the end, it's something he always liked. He kind of knew it really wasn't metal. It wasn't something he would really want to use for what we did, but he always liked it. He'd always say, well, what is that? I'm like, I don't know, it's just something I've been tinkering around with. But I always remembered it was something he always kind of liked. He's like, I kind of like that, it sounds good. We can't use it, but I like it. So that's how that ended up on there.
The track The Machine has a little bit of influence from him too, right?
It does. He always wanted, he was the biggest muscle car guy you would want to know. In fact, I keep telling his mother, are you opposed to, at some point when I go visit his grave every now and then, can I slap a Mopar sticker on the headstone? And she wants that. She's like, please do it. So I have yet to do it, but I will. And Machine, he would always tell me, hey Chris, let's write a song about, you know, me and Machine or this. He would always just try to prompt me, oh, dude, come on, let's just write songs about more social issues. And so I guess part of me at this point in the record, it was like, although the song Machine initially started with me as Machine from my point of view being a parent. As a parent, I can't fail my kids. I have to be able to get there, I have to be able to do what's needed of me. But while I was writing that song, there's a part of me going, but doesn't it kind of tie in like the motor of an engine? You know, I'll be there for you. You step on the gas, I'm going to accelerate. I'll be there. You turn on the key, I'm going to turn on for you. I'm going to take you to work. So I realized Machine is what you make of it. It can either be you as a machine because you're focused on a certain task, or it can be an actual machine.
Right.
Where that machine also is focused on a task that you expect it to do.
So it's up for interpretation.
So I kind of grabbed CJ and said, okay, let's just make this work for everybody, and it did.
Excellent. Well, the new album's out and is available through CD Baby, through iTunes, through your website, through FYE in some locations, right?
Recently, through Chris at Tour, we just found out it's available in the tri-state area, in stores actually on the shelves, and if that goes well, FYE has agreed to do it national.
Excellent.
So, we're kind of watching what happens there. Problem is, it's been selling out like crazy. We printed a certain amount of CDs in January, and we have barely a third, if not a quarter of those left, and that's only in 3 months.
I know the first time I saw that it was on CD Baby, it was sold out before I could order mine. So
and we've restocked CD Baby 5 times already, so it just keeps that, which is great. I wouldn't want it any other way. So
it's doing well. You guys got any more questions?
Oh yeah, I do.
Oh, you go for it.
I forgot to take a. She gave.
Yeah. You want to
take a quick break and come back.
Let's take one more break.
Yeah. We'll be back after these messages.
With metal rules! Hey,